You know, if the character's a crash test dummy, why is he bothering to wear pants? Does this make absolutely no sense to anybody but me? Anyway, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Modern Warfare 3. By the way, I love how I just did a little salute at a camera that doesn't exist. We're here on the last full day of the beta, although I don't really know when this video is actually gonna go up, probably like Wednesday or something. Oh, we got Highrise and Rust 24/7 down here. Maybe I'll actually hop into those. But anyways, I'm sure you can tell from the title, the plan for today is basically to talk about my thoughts on the beta, my hopes for what they'll change, what I liked, what I didn't like, and how I'm kind of feeling going into Modern Warfare 3. Quick disclaimer, by the way, normally when I do videos like this, I'll try to keep it to just me talking, and I'll go through like a list of points, and I won't really do too many gameplay cuts or anything like that. But since I've actually been having a lot of fun with this beta, I kind of want to do this video more in the style of like my usual videos, where there's going to be some of me talking and then some gameplay, and you guys know how it goes. Sorry if you're expecting something a little more organized. I'll put timestamps so you guys can like scrub through and find a specific thing if you like really care about one point you want to hear me talk about. But yeah, other than that, it's business as usual. And as always, make sure you leave a like if you are enjoying the video, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Also, by the way, dude, I'm at a different setup, and my mic is on my left instead of my right, and it's actually really fucking me up. I don't know what to do about this. Dude. Oh, it's just not the same anymore, man. Oh my god. Anyway, as far as my overall thoughts on the beta go, for the most part, I think I've really liked it. I think the game did a good job improving on areas where Modern Warfare 2 was lacking, and without going over the top in like the other direction, because a lot of the time what'll happen when you have a game like Modern Warfare 2 that, you know, for the most part wasn't received like super well, you'll see developers go in like the complete extreme opposite direction, you know? But anyway, the point is, on the whole, I really liked what they've done here. I think it's a good base, it's a good starting point, especially once we have all 16 Modern Warfare 2 maps. I feel like it'll be enough variety to keep me interested, at least for the first few months, and then we'll see where the game goes, because like I said, for both Modern Warfare 2 and Vanguard, the problem with those games wasn't necessarily their state on release, it was the fact that the problems with them were never fixed. Now, we'll see what Sledgehammer manages to do with this game over the course of the year, as far as content goes and making sure the game stays balanced, if there's something running like absolutely rampant through the community, making sure it's fixed in a timely fashion, that sort of thing. Dude, come on, man. I'm so sick of these flashes, bro. That's item number one I'd like to see fixed when the full game comes out. Can we please nerf the flashes so I don't have 2 years in a row where I feel like I'm just unable to play the game if I don't have Battle Hardened on? And that's assuming Battle Hardened even does anything in this game, because I mean, on Modern Warfare 2, it really didn't help very much. Wrecked. Dude, I swear, man, if I get spawned behind one more... I think that was the guy who was shooting at me. Anyway, the reason I'm saying all this up front is, much like I did in the last video where I was sort of giving thoughts and impressions, obviously I have some critiques, and I'm gonna, you know, list some things I'd like to see improved, or hopefully improved anyway. But the reason I'm saying the nice stuff first is I don't want people to get the impression that I didn't like this beta, or I think it's bad or anything, because I have seen a lot of the comments, especially on that, you know, Modern Warfare 3 in a nutshell video, which, by the way, that has like 55,000 views now as of me recording this. So yeah, real quick, again, just thank you guys so much for all the support on that. But yeah, at the very least, for me, overall, I really enjoyed this beta. I thought it was very fun. I actually haven't had this much fun playing Call of Duty in a long time, probably since the Modern Warfare 2 beta, to be honest with you. So yeah, just wanted to get that out of the way really quick, so it's clear to you guys that I do like this beta, and that's where I'm coming from. All these critiques are from a place of me wanting it to improve in certain areas that I'm not like super happy with just yet. All right, now see, that's just not necessary, bro. But yeah, these critiques are, you know, suggestions for improvement. It's not me saying this game is trash or anything like that. What? What? That whole sequence just confused me. I hit a guy behind the stairs that I missed, and I'm very confused how I missed. Then I hit the guy, and then okay. This game is great, guys. I love it so much. Actually, yeah, that was one other thing. Sorry, this is kind of off topic, but I think I mentioned in my last video, which actually hasn't gone up yet, about all the comments that I've gotten so far on that Modern Warfare 3 in a nutshell video. And yeah, it's still just really funny to me that people don't understand that I'm either like being sarcastic or screwing around a lot of the time when I'm like fucking baby raging over this game or whatever. Like, yeah, obviously I get annoyed at certain things, and some of it is coming from a place of me being genuinely pissed off, but most of the time I'm just memeing, I'm screwing around. I don't like actually care, dude, you know? Like, I know I'm not the best player on the planet or anything like that. I'm not expecting to go 5,000 and 0 every single game. Because, you know, there are some people like that, and then they'll, you know, blame aim assist or whatever and claim, oh, that's the only reason they can't do as well or whatever. Or on the flip side, people saying, oh, the K-band players, they can aim with their whole arm. That's the only reason I'm bad. I'm not in that camp, dude. I know I suck. Don't worry about it. I mean, I'm probably better than most of these people leaving hate comments, but, you know, that doesn't mean I think I'm actually good. It'd be nice if I could stop getting these hit markers, though. All right, good game, everyone. Noble effort, everyone. Well, it's 3 a.m. and there's skill-based matchmaking, so I guess I'll see you all next game. Actually, that leads us nicely into the first thing I wanted to talk about, which the reason I'm bringing this up first is because I'm pretty sure this is the least likely to actually get changed, but hey, a guy can hope, you know? And that's the skill-based matchmaking. Out of all the lessons that they've learned from Modern Warfare 2, I would hope that that's probably towards the top of the list of things that at the very least Activision's going to look at, especially now that they're being owned by Microsoft. I mean, I don't know if Microsoft has any interest in actually fixing that kind of thing, but you know. What? I was just coming up here to talk about something. I did not think that that was a guy. Now, I actually have a bit more of a measured take on this than most people, in that I don't think that skill-based matchmaking needs to go back to the way it used to be, where lobbies are just kind of a free-for-all and you get whoever you get. Sometimes you get absolutely stomped in lobbies you should not be in, and sometimes you get bot lobbies. I mean, I'd like it to be a little bit more that way, but it doesn't need to be to the extreme, you know? Like, I will say this right now. There is absolutely no reason that I should ever be in a game with somebody who it's their, like, first game of Call of Duty, or like they're really just bad, or like they have one hand or some shit like that. And like in the old days, they would have had like a 0.6, 0.7 KD. There's no reason I should ever be in a lobby with that guy. I fully admit that. And on the flip side, there's no reason I should ever be in a lobby with Scump. That should also never happen, right? But that being said, there's a whole lot of middle ground between that and the system we have right now where, you know, you essentially get to have one fun game and then you're fucked. Now, I've talked about skill-based matchmaking on this channel a million times as far as how it's implemented in Call of Duty, and it's not really skill-based matchmaking, it's engagement optimized matchmaking or whatever the hell. And, you know, they're not really trying to go by skill or trying to give you, you know, a designated pattern of wins and losses, trying to make you play the game as much as possible so you buy more skins or whatever. And I've actually seen some interesting conspiracy theories, some people saying that, like, they make your lobbies harder the further you get into battle passes so that you don't play enough to earn the next battle pass and then you have to, like, buy it with real money or whatever. I don't know if they've necessarily gone that far with it, but I wouldn't put it past Activision at the same time. So yeah, that's at the top of the list of things I'd like to see them look at, possibly, because I'm not gonna lie, dude, the lobbies on this beta were unbelievably sweaty. I mean, I know the first couple days of each weekend was, you know, pre-orders only. And obviously those players are going to be a bit more sweaty than the average player base you're going to run into on the full game, or even just now where it's opened up to everyone. But like I said, even now, you know, it's opened up to everybody. In theory, the lobbies should be a bit better, but they're not. And the reason they're not is because my score per minute's all jacked up because I've been cherry picking for Rust and Skidrow, and now the game thinks I'm some kind of aspiring CDL pro and it's treating my lobbies accordingly. I mean, case in point with this lobby, I've probably been cutting most of it out, but this shit is absolutely miserable. I never want to see most of these players again as long as I live. Yeah, whatever, dude, you can have it, I guess. Really matters that much to you. And the last point I want to make about skill-based before I stop harping on it for the millionth time, the way it's implemented in this game is kind of making me worry about some of the maps on this game, because obviously we're getting all Modern Warfare 2 remastered maps, right? And most of those maps played pretty well back in the day, but not so much on this game. I mentioned in the Weekend 1 video that Favela doesn't play anywhere near as well as I remember it playing, and I'm worried that that's going to extend to a lot of the other maps that end up getting added into the full game. And this is a problem that I've had with like the last 4 games pretty much, you know? When they would add in remastered maps that were classics, a lot of the time they wouldn't play very well just because, you know, the skill-based matchmaking had people playing the game a lot more slowly than they did back, you know, when those maps were first introduced. And it's not just an issue with the Infinity Ward games either with their, like, you know, slower gameplay style, because this also happened on Black Ops Cold War and Vanguard. So yeah, that's the last reason the skill-based worries me, just because I don't want this to turn into a repeat of last year where I end up cherry-picking for very specific maps just because I know those are the ones that play well, or God forbid by the end just giving up and going into Rust 24/7 for the rest of the year. Anyway, moving right along now that I've, you know, talked about skill-based matchmaking for the 8 billionth time, the next point on the agenda of things I'd like to see improved for the full game's release is the visibility. I know they did a little bit with the nameplates between weekends 1 and 2, but it is absolutely not enough. For one thing, the nameplates do not stand out anywhere near as well as they need to for you to be able to actually see what the hell's going on. I don't even know what the hell just happened there. I didn't even mean to shoot at that guy, to be honest. But yeah, not only do the nameplates not stand out nearly well enough, a lot of the time they also just like don't show up. It's really bizarre. I have had instances where I'm standing right next to an enemy, and it's not like the thing, you know, that I've previously complained about where like if I have a teammate near me, like sometimes it'll prioritize showing me the teammate's nameplate over the enemy and I get confused. Sometimes it'll just be me and another guy, and they're just like blending into the environment to the point where I either don't see them at all or I think they're like a dead body or something. So yeah, on the whole, the visibility, especially when it comes to enemies, absolutely needs to be fixed. I would say that's probably number 1 on my list of like gameplay related issues, just because I think also the reason a lot of people end up, you know, camping and like not really moving around the map a lot is A, they know they can just sit there and not be seen by a lot of people, and B, you know, they worry about rushing around a corner and not seeing some dude and having him just spray you down, you know? Dude, like, I don't... Actually, now that I'm done talking about the nameplates, let's talk about the next thing. The spawns. They absolutely need to look at the spawns. It's not just on this map, it's on basically every map. The spawns are absolutely nonsensical. It feels like I'm playing Modern Warfare 2019 again for some reason, where like you'll hold A and B flag and you won't even be pressing up, and then for whatever reason they'll just start spawning behind you. You know, for instance, on this map, I'll be sitting in this building with like my whole team on this side of the map, and then they'll just start spawning behind me for no reason. Or on the flip side, and I've had this happen a few times, the game will just spawn you right in somebody's scope. Like there should absolutely be a way for the game to tell if a spawn is within like the line of sight of an enemy, and then it should remove that from the potential spawn list. And this isn't just Rust I'm talking about, by the way. Obviously, Rust spawns are going to be a little weird regardless. They were even a little bit weird back in the day. I know some people forget about this, but it's true. I don't necessarily remember them being as bad as they are, but you know, I feel like if they fix the spawn system overall, a lot of that'll go away. But yeah, I actually had this moment the other day. I kind of wish I'd bothered to clip it because it probably is pretty funny in hindsight, but I had this moment where I was playing domination on skidrow, right? And my team only had the B flag, and the other team had captured A and C, and me and 3 teammates, so like there's 4 of us total, right? Me and 3 teammates were sitting capturing the A flag, and then for whatever reason, 3 people just spawned right on top of us. I'm so baffled as to how that's even possible. Like, they have a whole other flag and a whole half the map to spawn on, and for whatever reason, the game decided to spawn them like right behind us? I mean, seriously, where's the logic behind that? I don't understand. So yeah, that's the next thing I'd really like them to, you know, take a good hard look at before the game comes out. The spawns can be questionable even at the best of times, and at worst, they're, you know, pretty much game losing, right? I saw another clip floating around Twitter where there was a hard point that was like coming down, you know, right to the wire, and then for whatever reason, the entire other team just spawned right on top of the hard point, even though the guy recording its team was like trying to capture it at the moment. Like for whatever reason, the game just decided to spawn the whole team right there, and then they ended up losing the game because of it. Like, I don't know, I feel like that shit can't happen. I don't know if they're using like the squad spawn system from Modern Warfare 19 or if it's some other weird thing, but either way, they gotta figure that shit out. Wait, there's riot shields? Oh no, it's a juggernaut. Oh man, these games have been brutal so far, huh? There you go, there's the skill-based matchmaking for you. I plan to have more gameplay moments in this video, but I guess they're just not gonna happen. Anyway, the next thing on my list here is the movement, actually. There's been a whole lot to do about the movement and slide canceling coming back and all this shit. It's literally been part of the marketing campaign. And some people have been suggesting, you know, tweaks here and there. Even I was suggesting tweaks. At first, I was kind of like, oh, they should remove the delay at the end of the slide cancel or whatever. But now that I've actually spent a pretty significant amount of time with this beta, I think that for the most part, the movement has it flowing the way it should. I mean, obviously this is Rust, it's gonna flow no matter what pretty much, but you know, for the most part, like I've said, skidrow and highrise have been flowing pretty well too, in spite of both of those being maps where there's actually a fairly good number of places to hide. And, you know, highrise especially is a map where it's actually kind of beneficial to sit back and not move. But yeah, for the most part, people have been moving, they've been engaging with each other, you know, it's not just a hardcore camp fest or anything like that. So on the whole, I don't think the movement necessarily needs to change for the sake of game flow or anything like that. I know a lot of people are saying like, oh, you know, if they don't remove the delay after slide canceling, how are we gonna be able to punish campers or whatever? And again, I think that that's more of an issue with skill-based matchmaking than anything else. I feel like giving us more movement and more ways to cheese people that want to sit in corners is not the solution to creating a gameplay environment where it's beneficial to play like that. What the fuck? I've never seen this happen before. Well, not on this game anyway. I mean, I've seen it happen on Shipment, but holy moly, I didn't think a game would just end like that. But yeah, the reason people tend to want to play slow or camp or, you know, find their spot and post up or whatever, as opposed to moving around the map more, is that, you know, in a skill-based matchmaking environment, that's actually the best way to play. Because if a guy's sitting on a head glitch, and in theory, he's just as good at the game as you are because of the skill-based matchmaking, there's no real way to get him off of that head glitch reasonably. Like, if you just sit there, somebody eventually will have to pressure you, but they can't because, you know, you're just as good as them. They're not going to do anything special to get you off of it. So in the end, it encourages a camp-heavy playstyle. Now, historically, the way you would deal with this is by just, you know, being better than the other guy, right? Because when there was no skill-based matchmaking, sure, there's some noob sitting in the corner, but, you know, there's ways to outplay him. You can have better game sense than him. You have better map awareness than him. Your mechanics are better than his, whatever. You know, we had plenty of ways to deal with campers back in the day before slide canceling was even a thing. Superman, drop shot, dolphin diving, whatever. There were ways to do it. We didn't need this super advanced shit, right? So yeah, the TLDR of this rant is that adding more and more movement options to try and encourage people to, you know, not camp or give people options to get folks off of certain head glitches or out of certain spots is kind of just putting a band-aid on a bigger problem, when what they really should do is create an environment that encourages better players to press up rather than sitting back because they know nobody can get them off their head glitch. Oh, and by the way, I've seen those like movement clips going around Twitter, like the fake ones where people are doing absolutely over-the-top shit just to get one kill to like make fun of like the crazy movement kitties and stuff. I gotta say, I've actually been really enjoying this Twitter trend. I hope it continues. continues. Because I don't know, man, it's always been super silly to me when you see somebody doing like all this shit, right? And it's like a 30-second clip and they do all of that for what, 2 kills? And most of the time their aim is really bad and it's just, I don't know. By the way, going back to the skill-based matchmaking thing real quick, my ping has gone up by at least 50 just over the course of this session. And I haven't even been playing that good. So yeah, they need to do something about that. Like, I'm all for finding lobbies that are more balanced as far as player skill, but Call of Duty is one of the most popular games in the entire world. I refuse to believe that you can't find me a lobby that's reasonably balanced within 100 ping of my location. There's absolutely no way. Anyway, moving on to my final point. Sorry if this video is kind of dragging on a little bit. I had a lot to talk about. Last thing I wanted to bring up really was just a few little balancing things as far as the weapons, equipment, and all that good stuff that I'd hope to see them adjust a little bit when the full game comes out. Some of this is going to be a bit nitpicky, fair warning, but when you're playing this game for a lot of hours and you're playing it like consecutively, these things can get on your nerves pretty quick. Now, item number 1 I've already talked about a little in this video, and that's the flashes. I really think the flashes need to be adjusted before the full game comes out. They are way too ridiculous right now. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that they should be ineffective, but the problem with the flashes right now is that if you get flashed without battle hardened on, it's pretty much certain death. And I don't think that you should be absolutely required to run a perk that is in the same class as 2 of the other best perks in the game just in order to be able to function. Like, I'm running EOD on this class, but that's only because before this, I was basically just cherry picking for Rust, and obviously on Rust, it's probably better to have, you know, the explosive resistance rather than the flash and concussion grenade resistance, but still, even then, while I'm on Rust, like, the flashes are absolutely insane. And it does bother me that I don't have the option to do both of them, right? Like, you know, back in Black Ops Cold War, there was a way to have both, in Vanguard, there was a way to have both, in Modern Warfare 2, there was a way to have both. Like, I really do feel like you should be able to have both in exchange for Ninja or Ghost or whatever the perk is that's letting me swap weapons faster. Like, I will gladly give those things up if I can have Tac Mask and Flak Jacket at the same time, because the way the explosives and the equipment are right now, like, I'm not really sure that it's super balanced. Because again, it's about fun factor, right? Like, I'm thinking in terms of how fun this game is actually to play, because that's what Call of Duty is, right? This isn't a realism game, it's an arcade shooter, and with this game, it does seem like they're going back in that direction. You know, I think they've sort of stepped away from the Infinity Ward design of trying to make the game as realistic as possible or whatever, make it like a tac shooter, which is definitely a good thing, but part of that is, you know, making this equipment survivable. Like, I'm not saying I should be able to tank a grenade to the face, or if a flash goes off 2 inches from me, I should be able to just get up and walk away. But at the same time, it is really annoying that anytime a flash goes off in my remote vicinity, unless I find a way to get away from it, or, you know, manage to turn my head or whatever, it pretty much means instant death. Like, that just doesn't feel good to play into, you know what I mean? And everybody's running flashes because they all know how strong it is. So that's item number 1. Item number 2 is the overall gun balance. Now, I don't think the TTK is actually too bad. I'll actually talk about this real quick first. I know the TTK has been a point of contention for some people. You know, people feel like it's too long. They feel like they're pumping 6 bullets into people and not killing them. And again, I was in that camp for a little bit until I realized I think that has more to do with like netcode and hit registration than anything else. Because once I started sniping, honestly, it felt a lot more satisfying. And I know this is a one-shot weapon, so it doesn't really count, but once I went from this and I went back to using, you know, submachine guns and stuff, and I was actually hitting my shots and whatever, the time to kill actually felt much better. It's just, there is a little bit of randomness with the hit registration that I think sometimes makes the time to kill feel a little bit longer than it actually is, which is where I think a lot of these instances come from where, you know, you'll pump like 6 bullets into somebody, it won't kill them, and then they'll like melt you instantly with the same gun that you're using. But yeah, anyway, on the whole, time to kill I think is fine. Now that being said, as far as the individual weapon, what the fuck? I honestly forgot that there was a launcher in this game. That's actually nuts. But anyway, as far as the overall weapon balance, it definitely needs a little bit of work. The main issue is that the best guns in the game are head and shoulders above the rest, to the point that if you're not using the ACR or the Rival 9, and it used to be the Striker until they nerfed that this weekend, you're basically playing with a handicap. Like, you're literally going to just lose gunfights that you should have won. Dude, come on, man. Like, why would it spawn him right there? Right as I'm in the middle of actually doing something. Come on now. Oh my god. Oh my god, what the fuck was I just doing? Well, actually, on that note, now's probably a good time to talk about the sniping, which I actually think feels pretty good, in like a balanced way as well. Like, I don't think it's overpowered by any means. For the longbow, anyway, I haven't really messed with the other thing too much. I kind of think it's a piece of garbage from what I've heard. But yeah, as far as the longbow goes, I actually think it feels pretty good. I do think it's a little weird that you can have 25 rounds in a mag, especially for a gun that shoots this fast, and I mean, the hit markers are annoying, but it does hit decently hard. Now, we'll see if it stays this way. I mean, the Call of Duty special for the last couple of years has been, you know, having the sniping feel really good in the beta, and then nerfing it when the game comes out. I mean, they did that in Cold War. I think they did that in Vanguard. Can't remember if they did that in Modern Warfare 2 or not. So yeah, we'll see if it stays this way, but for now, it actually feels pretty good. But yeah, on the whole, as far as weapon balance is concerned, I just think they need to take a look at, you know, the numbers on some of these weapons. I don't necessarily think anything needs to be nerfed into the ground. It's just, you know, the gap between the best guns in the game and everything else kind of needs to be shortened a little bit, I think. Also, by the way, and this is kind of related to gun balance, I thought they were going to remove that weird system in the gunsmith where you have to like level up a different weapon in order to unlock an attachment you want to use for a certain gun. But to my understanding, that's not there. Like, I'm still looking at guns and seeing, you know, level this thing up to 16 in order to use this attachment. And it's just, I don't know, man. I thought that system was really weird from the get-go. Oh, and the other thing is the detailed weapon statistics. Where are those? I thought they were supposed to be bringing back that thing where you could see actual numbers in the gunsmith as opposed to just, you know, all your attachments saying this improves that and not giving you any actual, you know, concrete evidence as to whether or not a certain attachment is better than another one. I mean, I don't know, maybe I missed it, or maybe it's like under some menu or something, or I just didn't look hard enough, but if it is in the game and I just didn't notice it, then that's a UI issue. And if it's not in the game, they need to add it, because honestly, I have no idea why that was removed in the first place. It makes absolutely zero sense to me. Oh yeah, that's one more thing, by the way. Going back to movement a little bit, people said they should bring back bunny hopping. Absolutely not. The movement is fine the way that it is. I see more than enough people jumping at me as is. I do not need added incentive for people to do that. I'm so tired of it. Oh, and the last balancing thing I really want to see changed is the Guardian kill streak. I haven't seen too many in this video, but that thing is such a pain in the ass and it is way too easy to get and it's way too difficult to destroy. I would actually be totally fine with them just removing it from the game entirely, or at the very least nerfing it into the ground, because I don't think there's really anything fun about that item. Anyway, whew, what a video, huh? This is probably one of the longer Call of Duty videos I've ever done. And I think I got through about everything I wanted to say. In conclusion, do I have hope for Modern Warfare 3? Yeah, absolutely. I think this game has the potential to be really fun. Again, it's just going to depend on how they update the game over the course of the year, how the content plays out, what their approach is in fixing things that become problematic as far as balance or just the way people are playing with it. If they're diligent about all that stuff, I actually think Modern Warfare 3 could be a gem. Or alternatively, if they do what Infinity Ward did and just screw it all up, it could be one of the worst games ever made. Who knows? But regardless, as always, if you did enjoy this video, definitely make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you want to come back for more content. That's about it. I'll see you guys in the next one.